Hey, welcome back, everybody. Talking more RV sales process. We're going to be talking about something I'm sure you'll like. Today, we're talking overcoming objections. How can we overcome any objection that we get thrown at us as an RV salesperson? And we're going to go over that today. So, if you've been having trouble overcoming objections with your potential customers, with your potential clients, then this is going to be a stream for you. If you're an RV dealership that needs more customers for your sales team, or you're a business that needs more customers for your sales team, that's what we do here at IMR. Give me a call directly, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. If you want to get more customer leads for your dealership or business, I'd love to share the program with you. That way you can see if it's a good fit for your dealership or business or not. Nonetheless, we'll get right into the sales process. And one of the things that people always want to look up, right? They're Googling things. They're going to YouTube and they're searching for how to overcome objections and how to close more deals. And they think that there is a silver bullet to overcoming an objection. Okay. And there kind of is, right? But it's not, a single word track that you're going to use. It's not, one single sentence or something that you can say that's just going to, short wire your customer's brain and make them purchase your RV. Okay. So you have to understand that it doesn't work that way. Okay. The close is really done all the way through and through the sales process. Okay. So what I mean by that is if you don't have a good interview and qualify, if you don't have a good introduction, if you don't earn your customers' trust and respect and portray to them that you're someone that they can do business with, you're someone that they can know, like, and trust, if you're unable to make that happen, then overcoming an objection is going to be really, really hard. Okay, because we need our customers to want to work with us, to trust us, to feel like and to know that we, as the RV salesperson, has their best of intentions at the top of our mind. Okay, because you have to remember customers are selfish. They only care about the value that you're adding into their life. Okay, and when you can show a customer that you're ready, willing, and want to add value into their life, then they'll be okay with you getting a commission check. Okay, but until then, it doesn't really matter what happens. Okay, so I say that to preface the fact that you need to have a good interview and qualify. You need to learn your customers' emotions. You need to focus down on asking the right questions, asking hard questions, and doing all of those sorts of things in the beginning of the sales process so that when you get to the close, you actually have all the information you need so that you can overcome the objection. Okay, because in RV sales, we're selling a product, we're selling something that is an added expense, right? We have a mortgage, 2 cars, kids, soccer, gymnastics, insurance, X, Y, and Z. We have all of these different things that we're already paying for. So to add an RV into the mix, we're adding more expenses. Okay, so if we don't have a strong emotional connection with our customer, and if we don't truly understand what they're trying to accomplish with the RV, and we don't really dig into their needs, wants, desires, and emotions and go past surface level to get there, if we don't do those steps, we will not be able to close our customer. So you have to understand that it's not a single sentence, or it's not a single word track or a single thing that you can do to get your customer to close. Okay, the one single thing you can do, okay, if you want to call this a silver bullet, this would be it. It is learning our customers' emotions, learning their true desires, okay, asking the right questions, and showing our customer how leaving the dealership today without an RV actually makes their life worse. Okay. It doesn't add value to their life. It doesn't allow you to travel with your family, with your friends, with your kids. It doesn't allow you to travel with your spouse. And if these are things that you dream of and you want to accomplish before you die, then you need to buy the RV today. Okay. But if we don't get to the meat and potatoes of our customers' emotions so that we can pull that out of them, it's not going to matter what we do in the close. You're not going to be able to overcome any objection because you're not going to have the emotions that you need in the deal to be able to close an RV. Okay. Now, maybe if it was a car, a daily need, something that someone needs to get back and forth from work to take their kids, X, Y, and Z, it's easier to get them into a deal because they need a car. Same with a house. People need shelter. Okay. People don't need an RV. Okay. It's an expense all the way around. You have to pay monthly. You have to pay more in gas to travel it. You need a truck to move it. You need, a campground to stay somewhere. There's a bunch of stuff that comes into RVing. Okay. So we have to understand that because customers have to overcome all of these things themselves to be able to purchase RV. They have to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to pay RV insurance. Okay, I'm ready to pay, more in gas. I'm ready to buy a truck. I'm ready to go, put money down on a campground for the year, or I'm ready to, take time and look for different campgrounds throughout the US that we can travel to through the year, right? There's a lot that goes into it. Okay. So you have to understand, like I stress this point because there's no more important thing in the sales process than learning our customers' emotions. And that is what's going to allow you to overcome any objection. Because it's very easy to loop back on an objection when we get one. Okay. It's very easy to loop back on an objection when we get one if we know the emotions and the things that our customers want to accomplish with our RV. Okay. So, what I mean by that, once you do a good interview and qualify and you're asking the right questions and you go past surface level and you ask who, what, when, where, why, and how our customers are going to be using the RV and where they're going to be going and what they're going to be doing with it, who they're going to be going with, how many more summers they have till the kids leave the nest, and how important it is for them to travel with their kids or with their spouse, or how important it is to start building memories with their loved ones this summer or this fall, or whatever the customer wants to do, right? Maybe they're a snowbird. How important is it for you to get out of the snow this winter and get down to the summer heat, or rather the sun, in Florida and, California or wherever they want to go? How important is it to you to get out of the snow? Well, Chris, it's very important to me. I've been stuck in Ohio for 15 years. I hate the snow. I was born in Florida. I'm sick of the snow. I mean, I basically for the whole winter I don't even go outside, and it seems like it lasts for half of the year. So I don't even get half of my year when I'm in the snow. So for me, it means a lot to be able to get a RV so that I can be a snowbird and travel down to, Florida in the warmer months during the winter. And I'll come back to Ohio, when the weather gets nicer in Ohio. Okay, John, well, how are you going to do that if you don't buy this RV today? It sounds like you need to buy it today. Sign right here. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. But you have to understand, if we don't learn the emotions, we're not going to be able to go back to that. We're not going to know that John hates the snow. We're not going to know that he was born in Florida and, doesn't want to spend another minute in an Ohio winter. All right. Maybe we're asking who, what, when, where, why, and how about a family and kids. Okay. And maybe their main goal is to travel with their kids before they get to the age where they don't want to hang out anymore. Right. So they want to take their kids around and camp and hike and fish all the way through the US, and they want to go to Yellowstone and, Mount Rushmore and, Florida and the different, all the national parks that you can go to. I mean, there's a million places you can go to with an RV. So there's, the possibilities are endless. But, we really just want to take our kids around and travel with them and create these memories before they get too old. Okay, well, let me ask you this. How much longer do you have until your kids leave the nest? Well, you know what, Chris? That's a good question. Our one kid is 12, our other one's 10, our another one's 8, and we have one at 7. So honestly, the older ones are probably getting pretty close. They're in school, they're starting to hang out with friends more and, not want to do stuff with us more. So the older kids might, be getting there very soon. And then the 7 and 8-year-old, they love to go hiking and camping, but kids grow up fast. So maybe 1 or 2 more summers. Okay, great. Well, I mean, how are you going to spend time with your kids and create these memories and do all these things you want to do and travel to Mount Rushmore and all these different places if they're going to be, hanging out with their friends in a year or 2 years? It sounds like you need to buy this RV today. Sign right here. Okay, you know what, Chris? You're right. My kids are going to be leaving in a year or 2 years, and this is the time. If we're going to do it, we need to do it now. Thank you for letting us realize that. And boom, they sign right there. Okay. So the way to overcome an objection after you learn your customer's emotions, their true emotions, needs, wants, and desires, and you go past surface level and you dig deep with them. Once you do that and you learn those emotions, now the way that we're going to overcome the objection is to do a simple thing called looping back. Okay. I got this from Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, if you ever seen the movie. And it's genius. To me, it made a big difference when I added it into my sales process, and I've been using it ever since. So, I'd like to be able to say that I came up with it on my own, but I didn't. All right. So, I can't take the credit for it, but nonetheless, it's the way I overcome objections as well. So, looping back, essentially, all you're going to do is you're going to, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Okay. That's the word track right there of a typical loop back. Very simple. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. All right. So it's a very inquisitive, okay, tone of voice, right? I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this, right? I'm not like punching you in the mouth. I'm not coming at you directly. I'm not saying like, hey, man, buy this RV today. I'm not saying like, hey, what are you thinking? Why not buy this RV today? I'm not saying like you would be stupid if you didn't buy this RV today. I'm not doing any of that. Okay. Because that's very confrontational. It's very in your face. Okay. Customers don't like that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. So a customer says, hey, Chris, you're right. But, 200 a month, that's a lot of money for us right now. And, I don't know if we can swing it. Well, hey, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. I mean, how much is it worth to travel with your kids and your loved ones and your family and to take them across the US? You said you wanted to do it before they leave the nest. You have a 12-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 7, and an 8-year-old. The 11 and 12-year-old might be out of the nest in 1 or 2 years. So you're only going to have a year or two, hopefully 3, 4, 5, or 8. But I'm just saying, worst case scenario, you might only have a year or two left with your kids. So how important is it to travel with your kids and take them to these places before they leave the nest? And then they're going to say something like, you know what, Chris? It's very important for me to travel around with my kids before they leave the nest. You're right. I only do have 1 or 2 more years, before they do. So, I think you're right. I'm going to buy the RV today. Where do I sign? Right? Or you might be a little more aggressive and say, so, how long until they leave the nest? I mean, it sounds like you only have 1 or 2 years. So if you want to spend time with them now, you have to buy this RV today. Sign right here. Boom. And then they're going to sign or they're not. Then they're going to say, you know what, Chris, you make a very good point. Kids are going to be leaving in a year or two. And we do want to travel with them. I mean, it's probably the most important thing to us as parents is traveling with our kids. We can't take our money with us, but, we really need to sleep on it. We really need to sleep on it because we just need to think about it more. We don't make rash decisions, right? Well, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. I mean, how long have you been sleeping on it? You know that you've been wanting to travel with your kids for, probably 5 or 10 years now, and you haven't bought an RV yet. If you keep sleeping on it, you're going to eventually get to a point where your kids are going to be out of the nest, and this dream is never going to become a reality. So, I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense for you to not buy this RV today. I'll tell you what, we'll make the deal contingent, put $500 down today, and we'll make the deal contingent on you sleeping about it. But what I think is you just commit to buying this RV today so that you and your family can start traveling and creating these memories so that your kids don't leave the nest. And in 5 or 10 years, you don't regret buying this RV today. Sign right here. Okay. So, boom. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you don't want to start traveling with your kids? How come you don't want to X, Y, and Z? And that's why I say it's more important to learn our customers' emotions, their needs, their wants, their desires before we get to the objection. If we don't do a good job in our interview and qualify, if we're unable to drum up those pain points and really dial down and dial in on what our customer is trying to fix by buying an RV, then we're not going to be able to close the deal because we're not going to have enough of our customers' emotion invested for them to want to buy the RV. Okay. So we have to understand the only time a customer is going to spend their hard earned dollars with you as an RV salesperson is when they see the value of the RV is more than the price point we're asking our customer to pay for it. Okay, if it's a $1,000 RV, we got to have a lot of value to pay $1,000 a month. If it's a $200 RV, maybe we don't need as much value. Okay, but the truth is, with what we're selling, it's nothing but value because we're selling priceless memories, travel, time with family, time with friends, the things that truly matter to us as humans. That's what we sell in an RV. So, as long as our customer has the means to pay for it, then it's the right RV most of the time. And that's why we can get a 1 day close in RV sales and really any sales, but we have to get to those emotions. If we don't get to the emotions, we're never going to get to a 1 day close. It's just not possible. Okay. So we have to make sure that we're asking the right questions. Okay. We're digging deep into our customers' needs and their emotions. And then also on the flip side of it, when we get that objection, we're going to use the very simple loop back. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. And we're going to loop back to the customer's emotions. That's why it's a loop back, because we're looping back. We're not meeting the objection head on. We're not punching you in the mouth. We're not saying, hey, pull your balls out of your purse or anything like that. Any of them old used car sales tactics kind of rebuttals that maybe you've seen online or heard. We're not doing any of that. We're saying, hey, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How are you going to spend time with your kids and your loved ones and create these memories that you say are so important to you if you don't buy this RV today? It's only $200 a month. You and your family are going to create well more than $200 a month in memories and priceless, travel time and, seeing the different sites and the different things you want to do. I mean, that's going to be well worth more than $200 a month. So, I know $200 a month sounds like it's a lot, but the value that's going to be added into your life once you buy this RV is going to be priceless. Sign right here. Okay, because that's the truth, right? And they, again, they give us another objection. Chris, I got to think about it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you want to think about it? This is the perfect RV for you. You know that you want to start traveling with your kids and your loved ones. You know that you want to start creating these priceless memories. So how come you want to keep waiting? If you keep waiting, you might not ever get to start traveling. It might just turn into a big regret of yours down the road. And no one wants to live in regret. So buy this RV today, start traveling, and stop putting it off. Sign right here. Boom. Well, Chris, you're right. You're right. But, I got to go home and talk to my wife about it. Well, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Your wife wants to travel with you and your kids, and she wants to create these memories just as much as everybody else does. Okay, so maybe what your wife is waiting on is for you to just pull the trigger and bring home an RV one day, right? Your wife wants to spend time with the kids and go traveling with you and knock out these things that you've been talking about for the last 5 or 10 years. So let's surprise her today. Sign right here. Well, I can't surprise her, Chris. I really need to go home and talk to her. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. What if we do it this way? What if you buy the RV? Let's be committed to buying the RV today so that we can start creating these memories and, you know, stop wasting time on this dream of ours. And let's put a down payment and we'll make the deal contingent on you speaking with your wife. So if she's absolutely against it when you get home or you speak with her, then we'll give you your $500 back, no harm, no foul. But I guarantee you, once your wife learns that you're going to start camping with your kids and your loved ones and traveling around and creating those memories that you guys have always been talking about for the last 10 years, I'm sure your wife is going to be ecstatic and happy. And she's going to love that you made this decision. Sign right here. Well, Chris, and you see, I can keep saying it. I hear what you're saying, John, but let me ask you this. How come? How come, John? How come, Sally? I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you want to keep torturing yourself? How come you don't want to live the memories that you want to live? How come you don't want to start knocking bucket list items off with your spouse? How much longer are you going to wait on your dreams? How much longer are you going to wait on your emotions? How much longer are you going to wait on spending time with your kids and living the finer things in life? How much longer? Sign right here. Right? That's the idea of overcoming any objection, is really digging into those emotions, looping back to them and just doubling down on the emotions and why the customer needs it and how it's going to add value to their life. Okay, so hopefully, if you're out there and you're selling RVs this week, we're learning our customers' emotions. We're asking those hard questions. If you like to read, make sure you go grab the book, Sell More, Live More Sales Training. It'll take you through the Sell More, Live More sales training process from A to Z. You can get that on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes and Noble. The link is in the description if you want to go grab that book. If you're an individual RV salesperson that wants to get into your own RV sales training, you can do that as well at sellmorelivemore.net. The link is in the description as well. We have RV sales training program that you can get into, over 40 plus videos and hours of content that walks you through the sales process from A to Z. That way you can be closing more RV sales and adding more value to your customer's life. So if you're an individual salesperson that wants to, join an RV sales training program, hop over to sellmorelivemore.net. Sign up for that sales training program. It's only $9.97 or something like that a month, or $100 for the whole program. Not sure how long we're going to keep that price up. So if you want to take advantage of that great price, hop over to sellmorelivemore.net, sign up for the program. If you're an individual dealership, or let's say you're a sales manager or a GM or an owner of a dealership, and you want to get more customer leads for your dealership or business, give me a call directly. That's what we do here at IMR. My phone number direct is 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. Give me a call directly. I'd love to share my program with you. That way you can see if it's a good fit for your dealership or business or not. Most of the time when we come into a new business and add our programs into it, we can double your customer leads. So if your sales team is good at closing deals, usually when you double the leads that they're talking to, it's a good equation, right? So if you need more customer leads for your sales team, give me a call directly, 330-703-3930. I'd love to help you get those customer leads into your dealership or business. And, we just kind of keep going from there. So we'll be talking about RV sales process all year long. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you do that. Hop over to YouTube, type in Infinite Media Resources to subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you haven't given us a like on Facebook yet, give us a like on Facebook. And that way you can be, in tune with all of the different things that we're putting out for sales and marketing. So, I appreciate everybody that's been here today. Again, don't forget to reach out if you need help with your business or dealership with getting leads or sales, because I'd love to help. But until the next one, I'll see you then.